Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. This past offseason, Anibal Sanchez signed a 5-year deal to return to the Tigers, and so far he has provided some big-time dividends. A 2-1 record and a 1.75 ERA so far. Sanchez will be in action tonight as we welcome you to Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Interlink play is back. It's the Braves and the Tigers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us for the return of Interleague play. The Big Bad Braves are in town. They are off to a red-hot start over in the National League. Ron, and Anibal Sanchez tonight will certainly have his hands full.
Well, he's going to have to exercise some demons. That much we do know, because his numbers against the Atlanta Braves are not pretty. The Braves, they have a lot of guys that hit lots of home runs. They're not hitting that well with runners in scoring position, but he has to show up here today, keep the ball down, keep the ball in the ballpark, and stay away from Justin Upton.
All right, now keeping the ball in the ballpark has been difficult for opposing pitchers against these Braves, particularly the guy that you just mentioned, Justin Upton, has gotten off to a red-hot start.
He's a legitimate five-tool player. He is playing like many experts predicted him to play when he came out of high school. Numbers 2 player drafted in the country. Unbelievable talent. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark to all fields, whether it be right field, whether it be center field, whether it be left field. He can also beat you with his legs. He stole better than 20 bases twice in the National League over with Arizona, so he's got some speed as well. But make no mistake about it, he is on some kind of tear right now. 11 home runs. The OPS is 1,200. 10 solo shots this year of the 11 home runs he's hit, but he is stress-free right now, I guess you should say. And it looks like he's loving life in Atlanta these days.
No doubt about it. This should be a fun series. Two of the top teams in baseball, the Tigers and Braves, going at it. And after a short timeout, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios with Shannon Hogan. Coming up next, it is an unfamiliar foe. The Braves are in town. Game 1 in this 3-game weekend series. Next. Welcome back to Comerica Park as we get you ready for baseball here at the ballpark tonight. The Tigers and the visiting Atlanta Braves. And the Upton brothers will be in the lineup tonight for the Atlanta Braves. Their starting lineup presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Andrelton Simmons will lead it off. He'll play shortstop, followed by Dan Uggla and Justin Upton. It'll be Freddie Freeman at first, Chris Johnson at third. Evan Gattis is the catcher. B.J. Upton in center. Francisco and Johnson will round it out for the Atlanta Braves. Anibal Sanchez tonight presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Anibal comes in with outstanding numbers. He is 2-1 with a 1.75 earned run average, 24 strikeouts in the 25 2/3 innings so far this year. Must keep the ball down, change speed, so get some ground balls to keep the Braves hitters in the ballpark.
So the team with the best record in baseball, the Braves, are in town, and the first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Simmons. He'll be followed by Dan Uggla and then Justin Upton. Atlanta 15-6, and they sit atop the National League East. The 0-1 is popped up. Right side of the infield. Prince calling for it. And one gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment this evening. You have Tuiasa Sopo getting the start in left field, Jackson in center, Hunters in right, Cabrera, Peralta, Infante, and Fielder in the infield, and Brian Pena getting the start here tonight, catching Sanchez.
Matt Tuiasa Sopo patrolling left field, and Andy Dirks has the night off, still nursing a bit of a sore knee. Brian Pena also behind the plate. A couple of changes for Jim Leland.
Andy Dirks ran into a wall down in Lakeland, Florida in spring training and really hasn't been the same since.
Dan Uggla, the batter. And he shoots one foul back out of play. Well, Dirks off to a slow start offensively, and Jim Leland giving him the day off again today. But you're right, that knee just hasn't quite responded. Some days it feels good, some days it doesn't. There's a strike called on the outer edge, 1-2.
This cold weather the Tigers have been playing in lately can't help it.
Yeah, and that's what Jim said as well. It has to be a factor. And a strike called, and Uggla is punched out of there. Nice start tonight for Anibal Sanchez. Uggla was a guy that hit him pretty well, 4 for 10.
A good fastball here by Sanchez on the outside black.
Two up, two down, and that'll bring up Justin Upton. Batting .316 with 11 home runs already. Leads the majors in the home run category. And he has hit one home run career against Sanchez.
The Braves have had some issues with the top of their batting order. If they had someone that was getting on base as frequently as Jackson does for the Tigers, then Upton would have about 25 or 30 RBIs.
Yeah, because it's odd to see a guy with 11 homers and only 16 driven in.
Greg Walker, their hitting coach, told me today they've moved a few guys around. B.J. Upton has led off 12 times this year. Simmons, the kid, he's led off for the 8th time today. But the on-base percentage for the leadoff hitters are not very good for Atlanta right now.
Swing and a miss, and a big rip there by Upton. Saw a shot of Freddie Gonzalez, their skipper. He has his team in first place by 4.5 in the National League's East Division. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Missed it outside. Run it to 2-2 on Upton. Braves made a big splash in the offseason, signing B.J. Upton and then getting Justin Upton. There's Freddie Freeman waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. Fouled straight back.
Justin has done a lot of damage this year with 2 strikes. And it's really fascinating that he's hit 7 of his 11 home runs with 2 strikes. We've already well documented the low RBI total, but 7 homers with 2 strikes.
Brother B.J. Upton has gotten off to a much slower start than Justin. B.J. Upton batting just 150, but you know before it's all said and done, he will get it going. He put up some really good numbers in Tampa Bay. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Pena will tag the hitter for the final out. A 1-2-3 inning for Anibal Sanchez with a couple of strikeouts. Good start for the Tigers right-hander. The Braves go 1-2-3, and here come the Tigers now in the bottom of the first inning tonight. Their starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. For the Tigers, Jackson, Hunter, Cabrera at the top. Prince Fielder batting cleanup. Victor is DHing. Johnny Peralta at short. The changes: Tuiasa Sopo in left, Pena catching, and Infante is playing second base, and Paul Mahalem is on the hill for Atlanta.
When they acquired him from the Chicago Cubs at the trade deadline last year, he pitched very well down the stretch for the Braves. He also had a really good spring, and those same numbers have continued in his first 4 starts of the regular season.
Mahalem slings home the first pitch, strike one on Austin Jackson.
His best fastball will get about 88, 89 miles an hour. He's got a curveball, has a changeup, keeps the ball down, throws lots of ground balls. Doesn't give up many homers.
He has been really good since the All-Star break of last year, a 2.45 ERA in that stretch. In Mahalem at 30 years of age now with Atlanta. Here's the 1-1, and it's fouled straight back. 1-2 on Jackson, trying to get it started here. Hunter and then Cabrera to follow. Austin batting .277, was 1 for 8 in the recently completed series against Kansas City. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Down he goes.
Let's take a look at the Atlanta Braves starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. You have the Upton brothers in left and center field respectively. Reed Johnson, he's in right. And the infield is also a Johnson, Simmons, Ugla, and Freeman. And Gaddis, good-looking rookie catcher, big boy with some power behind the plate.
Can is on the DL, but he is filled in nicely as you take a look at the Upton brothers. And now Torrey Hunter stands in with 12 multiple hit games already this season. Now the 0-1 pitch, and it's drilled toward left field on a line and caught on one hop by Upton. It'll be a base hit. Solid single to left field. Sunlight's still a little bit of an issue for the left fielder in this game, and that would be Justin Upton. Justin just a little bit hesitant on approaching that ball. 1 on 1 out. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Tigers have the game's first base runner. Cabrera has a 9-game hitting streak coming into play here tonight. .361 batting average, and pretty good numbers against the Braves in his career. Of course, he saw a lot of the Braves in his Marlins days. Sends a ground ball foul, third base side. Time now for the Farmers Insurance report card here tonight. And as we check out some numbers, we look at Miguel Cabrera's career against the Braves and really against the National League East.
I'm pretty sure Miggy's numbers look just like that about every division and a lot of teams.
Not too many teams and or pitchers have had a lot of success against Cabrera. Shoots a ground ball back up the middle, fielded there by Simmons. They'll fire to second one, and the relay is in time, a double play. 6-4-3, Simmons, Uggla, Freeman turn it, and we are scoreless after one. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Ram trucks engineered to move heaven and earth. Guts, glory, Ram. And by Spartan Stores for locations. Visit turntospartan.com. Back here at Comerica Park in a scoreless game as we go to the second. Braves batting, and it's Freddie Freeman up there. Freeman, then Johnson, and then Gaddis in the top of the second. 3:21 start for Freddie Freeman. Sanchez with the 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Freeman recently off the disabled list, had an oblique problem, was on the 15-day DL. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just off the plate.
Freeman, one of the brighter, younger hitters in the National League. 22 homers last year and drove in 94 runs as a 22-year-old.
Swing and a miss. Boy, Sanchez has it working tonight. That's his 3rd straight strikeout.
He is absolutely dealing. He's got all his pitches working early here tonight. He has not had a lot of success against the Atlanta Braves, and he knows that. And he also knows he has to keep the ball at the bottom of the strike zone, which he has done so far here tonight.
He got Freeman to swing at a pitch that actually hit the plate. 4 straight retired by Anibal, and here is Chris Johnson. He waves and misses 0-1.
This cat right here is leading the National League in hitting at .397.
He is indeed, and he came over from Arizona as well in the Upton deal. Everybody talks about the start that Justin Upton has gotten off to, but this guy has filled in nicely as well. A couple of home runs. And he shoots one toward the gap in left center. That's going to get down. And it's going to get by Tuiasa Sopo to the wall. It goes. Johnson on his way to second. He will pull in with a 1-out double. First hit tonight for Atlanta.
Real nice swing here at a breaking ball at 84 miles an hour that really doesn't do a whole lot. A really short, quick, compact swing by Johnson. And that's a major reason why he is leading the National League in hitting with a swing like that.
Here's the catcher, Evan Gattis. Cuts and misses 0-1.
These Braves will not get cheated here tonight. They got some guys that swing that stick. They strike out quite often, but they do hit quite a few homers. They go hand in hand.
Already has 6 long balls, 13 RBIs. Strike called.
Gattis played winter ball this year in Venezuela. He hit over 300. He had 16 homers, which led the Venezuelan Winter League, and also he drove in 44 runs, which also led the league. So he hasn't stopped hitting yet. Had a monster spring.
Well, he homered in his major league debut. Just off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Atlanta is a team coming in batting .250. Yet they have the best record in baseball.
They only have about 3 guys on their team that are hitting. The rest of the team has not gotten off to a good start offensively, but they have some really good pitching.
And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Uncomfortable looking swing. And that is 4 strikeouts already for Anibal Sanchez.
It's a change up here. He misses with his location. You want that ball down, but the big strong guy, Gattis, swings right through it.
Pretty good ratio so far for Sanchez through 24 pitches in this game. And here's B.J. Upton. Strike 1 on Upton. Tigers have seen plenty of Upton over the years, of course, in his days with the Tampa Bay Rays. Last 10 seasons in Tampa Bay. Off to a 150 start. Strike called.
Annabelle spotting that fastball at 94, 95 on the outside black. As a right-handed batter, there is absolutely nothing you could do with that last pitch where it was located.
Here's the 0-2. A little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
BJ stands for Boss Man Jr. I guess you can imagine who the original Boss Man was in that family.
His dad.
He got that right.
Well, Upton putting up some terrific numbers in his days with Tampa. It'll bounce in. Run the count now to 2 balls, 2 strikes.
BJ really hasn't had his best year in the big leagues. Although he has hit for power, he has stolen some bases. He can really play center field. He can throw. But there are many that believe that he's got a lot more in his tank if he can consistently put the ball in play and not strike out as frequently as he struck out last year. He will be a much better player.
Way inside, 3-2.
But he did parlay that really good year last year into a 5-year contract at $75 million out of the Atlanta Braves.
Waiting on deck, Juan Francisco, the designated hitter. American League Park, American League rules. And he walked him. So Sanchez gets ahead, but ends up losing. B.J. Upton. 2 on with 2 outs. That'll bring up Francisco. This is a Braves team that leads the National League in homers. We mentioned the batting average about middle of the pack. But they've been able to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Francisco has 4 home runs of his own.
Most teams in the National League, when they go to an American League ballpark, they really don't have a DH, a guy that can hit the ball in the ballpark. But this guy can. Francisco, he's got really good power.
In for strike 1.
Anibal filling up that strike zone today. Lots of first pitch strikes.
1 out double by Johnson. He's still at second base. Upton is just walked. Good pitch. 0-2. So Francisco finds himself in a hole.
You can climb the ladder right here with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and get in the chase.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Another strikeout for Anibal Sanchez. That's his 5th already in the game, and the Braves will strand 2 in the second. Interleague play is back. The Braves and Tigers going at it, starting a 3-game series here at Comerica. Still scoreless in this one as we go to the Tigers' second. And it'll be Prince fielder Victor Martinez, Johnny Peralta facing Paul Mahalem, who delivers strike 1 to Prince. Fielder was 0 for 5 in the series against Kansas City and batting .311 now. Prince over the years has seen a lot of Mahalem in his days with Milwaukee, and Mahalem has really had his number. Prince is only 4 for 51 against the lefty. The 1-1. We've talked many times this year about the fact that lefties really haven't seemed to bother Prince, with the exception of this guy. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fielder now has 16 walks this year and leads the American League. Tigers checked in tonight with a record of 10-10. Atlanta 15-6. 2 teams picked to do some pretty good things this year in their respective leagues. Off the plate, 3-2. Now the 3-2 pitch. Outside, there's another walk for Prince. Leadoff man on for the Tigers here in the second. Hey, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on the Braves pitching since 2010. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you. And these are the major league ranks. Atlanta's always been able to pitch it.
You don't hear a lot about Roger McDowell. He's their pitching coach, former pitcher in the major leagues. Very good pitcher. Won a lot of games. But he's done marvelous work with his pitching staff since he has been in charge of them.
Well, here is Victor Martinez. And Victor looks at strike 1.
Roger McDowell had to replace Leo Mazzoni as well. Leo Mazzoni was an outstanding pitching coach for Bobby Cox on all those teams that Atlanta was winning all those championships.
Leo Mazzoni was a legend. He was also very easy to find on the bench. He was the guy sitting there rocking back and forth
all the time. He got a lot of FaceTime too.
Yes, he did.
With Maddox and Smoltz and Glavine.
1-1 on Victor Martinez. Leadoff walk here in the second for the Tigers. And Victor skips out of the way. 2-1.
I was talking to Torrey Hunter before the game, and he said you have to force Mahalam into getting the ball up in the zone. He throws lots of ground balls. He's got the east to west sinker ball. He tries to spot it inside to the right-handers, away from the left-handers. Nice little breaking ball changeup. Hasn't made many mistakes this year. He's been awfully good, really, since putting on a Braves uniform.
Tap foul. 2-2. Here's Roger McDowell. Braves pitching coach. Two and 2 the count. Victor 2 out of 9 in the Royals series. Still trying to find that consistency, batting 187. And he drives this one toward right center field. That looks like trouble, and it is. Fielder is on his way to third base, and they're going to hold him there. It's a double for Victor Martinez. And the Tigers have something going here in the second.
It's an 87-mile-per-hour fastball that he got up in the strike zone, just as Torrey Hunter said his teammates would have to do against Mahalam, and just really good concentration there by Victor, and slicing that ball the opposite way. And B.J. Upton in center field couldn't run it down. Boy, his form looks a whole lot better than it looked before he and Lloyd McClendon worked early a couple of days ago. Obviously a wise decision by Tom Brookins to keep the Prince at third base.
There was a split second where I thought they might be able to send him, but a wise choice with nobody out. And now Peralta trying to deliver the game's first run or two. Ball one. Johnny's had nice numbers in limited time against Mahalam. 4 out of 9.
Freddie Gonzalez has his defense back. Anything hit on the ground up the middle will score a run for Detroit, which is exactly what Peralta should be concentrating on.
Ground ball to the shortstop on the backhand. Simmons coming home. The tag, and he is out.
Prince didn't get a good break from third base. It's a contact play where you're coming on the ground because the infield is playing deep. But give Simmons, their shortstop, some credit. When he gets his ball in his glove, let's take a look at him. Let's freeze it when he gets it in the glove. He has it in the glove. He would have gone to first base had Prince gotten a better jump off third base, but out of the corner of his eye, he saw the Prince didn't get a good jump, and so they come home and get the out.
And that is certainly a positive exchange for the Braves. Runners at first and second now with one away.
You don't see that very often with the infield playing deep and a ground ball to the shortstop where the shortstop comes home.
Tuiasosopo takes a strike. .278 batting average. Runners at first and second. Tigers got the leadoff walk from Fielder, then a double by Martinez. Mahalam trying to wiggle out of a second inning jam. So now he'll ask for his catcher Gaddis to come out and meet him halfway. Mahalam was acquired from the Cubs with Reed Johnson last July. After he was acquired by the Braves, was 4-5, but a good ERA of 3.5. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tuiasosopo, the start in left field today. And regardless of the Dirks knee problem, he probably would have started against the lefty anyway.
He's gotten a start against every single lefty the Tigers have seen this year, hasn't he?
I believe so. There's a strike right at the knees.
On many occasions, when a left-hander does come into a game late and Dirks comes up, he pinch hits Tuiasa Sopo for Andy.
1-2 on Matt. Swing and a miss, and Mahalam strikes him out, and there are 2 gone. That'll be his second strikeout of the game.
He was able to get ahead of Tuiasa Sopo, therefore just expands the strike zone. He makes that fastball look enticing, but it was outside by about 3-4 inches.
Now Brian Pena batting .263. Pena shoots a ground ball to second. Should get him out of the inning. Ugla throws him out, and Mahalam with a terrific job of pitching around an early jam. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Sanchez on the mound for the Tigers, and here's today's high-speed stat brought to you by Charter Internet. The fastball velocity in the career comparisons of Mahalam and Sanchez. 88.9 miles per hour for Mahalam, 91 for Sanchez, and those are the speed variations on their secondary pitches as well, slider, curve, and changeup.
And Mahalam was able to wiggle out of that jam. Second and third, nobody out, and he gave up none.
Heads up play by his shortstop.
Meanwhile, Sanchez, whose fastball has been a little bit better than those numbers you just showed. They were about 94, 95 in the first couple of innings. They'll go back to work now. Reed Johnson will lead it off. It'll be Johnson, then Simmons, then Ugla. And it's in for strike one, and that means that Sanchez now has gone 7 of 9 on first pitch strikes. First time through the lineup. Johnson batting .286. Fouls it straight back 0-2. And you're not kidding. These guys love to swing, don't they?
They do. Reed Johnson's always been a good fastball hitter. Getting a chance to play these days because Jason Hayward is on the disabled list.
You've got some guys on the DL. You mentioned Hayward. McCann is on the disabled list there without Venters. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. That didn't take long. 6 strikeouts already for Sanchez.
Getting him to chase that fastball up in the zone after he's gotten ahead of him. He did the same thing to Gaddis, very young catcher that Atlanta has, who got the start here tonight.
Here is Andrelton Simmons, who popped up to start the game. Fouled back out of play 0-1.
It's Greg Walker, the hitting coach of the Atlanta Braves, his second year as the hitting coach after spending a lot of years as the hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox when Ozzie Guillen was managing the White Sox. He says this team that he has here kind of draws some comparisons to the first year when he was a hitting coach in Chicago, when they had all those guys that had all that power in their bat, all that pop they had.
Well, they certainly have a lot of pop this year, leading the National League in home runs.
Carlos Lee, Konerko, Big Frank.
Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Sanchez struck out 3 in the second, 2 in the first. He's thrown 40 pitches now, 27 of which have been strikes. And he hits the outside corner, 3-2. Dan Uggla waiting on deck. Simmons waiting on a 3-2 pitch, and he'll step out. Ground ball, fair ball, right by Cabrera down the third base line. Simmons on his way to second, and he'll pull in with a double. Second two-base hit of the day for the Braves.
It's an 86-mile-per-hour changeup that stayed up. He didn't bury it down at the bottom of the zone like the previous changeups he has thrown in the game, and he sped the bat up of Simmons there. And Simmons got out in front of one. Miguel Dofor couldn't get there, and by the time Tuias Asasopo picked it up, stand-up double for Simmons.
Dan Uggla, the batter, gets away from Pena. That'll move the runner up.
That might go as a pass ball. Don't know for sure, but looks like it's a ball he should have caught.
Sounded like it. You could hear the thud of the glove. They've ruled it a pass ball. Infield coming in for the Tigers, and so they'll try and cut this runner down if they get a chance. Foul back out of play, 1-1. Uggla struck out in his first at bat, and the average now 182. Off the plate, 2 balls, 1 strike. So it's Sanchez's turn now to try and pitch through some trouble. Upton waiting on deck. The 2-1. 3-1. Fastball in that time that missed. Uggla has 4 home runs of his own this year. He's been a big home run hitter in the big leagues. Bends out of the way of a strike, and the count fills now 3-2.
Sanchez not afraid to throw his off-speed pitches in fastball counts as he does right here. A 3-1 count, 85-mile-per-hour changeup. He's thrown a lot of changeups to the right-handed hitters already in the game.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. It's 7 strikeouts now for Sanchez. Well, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the new Premium McWrap. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. 7 punch-outs now for Anibal, and that'll bring up Justin Upton, who was a strikeout victim himself back in the first.
He carved up Uggla up pretty nicely there with those last 2 pitches.
Waving a miss, 0-1. He gave him the heater, and he swung right through it. Upton came in 5 for his previous 12 with a couple of home runs. Chopper back up the middle, and Fonte on the backhand. And that is that for the Braves. No runs. They get a hit and leave them at third. Here as we play in the bottom of the third. He hit me with the back to you.
I heard that. First time we haven't seen Keats in a couple weeks. He was out on that 10-day trip with us.
He's got the cushy job tonight, hanging out in the studio.
Yeah, he does.
No runs, 2 hits for both teams tonight as Mahalam goes back to the hill and Omar Infante takes strike 1. Mahalam was 7 out of 8 coming into the inning, and now 8 out of 9 on first pitch strikes. So he's gotten ahead of most Tigers hitters. Ground ball to third under the glove of Jackson, who was played in on the cut of the grass. Omar taking the turn. He's going for 2, and he's in there sliding. Leadoff double.
Johnson playing in real tight at third base. He's expecting that Infante will bunt on occasion because of that. Infante hit it right past him and was able to get to second base. And hustling for a double, possibly an error. I don't know what they gave him.
Well, Infante continues to give the Tigers, despite a bit of a recent slump out west toward the end of that trip. He gives them some offense at the bottom of that lineup.
Especially here at home. His numbers here at Comerica Park are off the charts.
Leadoff double is the third Tigers hit of this game. Now Jackson. Both teams have had some opportunities. Tigers had runners at second and third. Nobody out in the second, but could not score. Jackson struck out in the first. Ground ball back up the middle. Simmons on the charge, has only 1 play. Advance the runner to third, 1 gone. We'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Single for Torrey in the first. Did you expect this kind of start out of Torrey Hunter this year?
I mean, no, I really didn't. I mean, I was hoping that he could come and do exactly what he did last year, second half of the year.
In the air to shallow center field, and it's going to drop. Base hit. That'll score the run.
I was kind of hoping that he would continue to do as well as he did last year, batting behind Mike Trout, especially with Austin Jackson leading off and Jackson having a lot of speed. But I have to admit, Torrey's been better than advertised.
Well, through the first 19 games, Torrey Hunter now with 31 hits. Most in franchise history. Second most in franchise history. Pretty good start, no doubt. And that's another multiple hit game, by the way, which is now his 13th already. Pretty impressive. Cabrera sends it foul, back out of play.
Freddie Gonzalez, now the manager of the Atlanta Braves. He managed Cabrera for one season, 2007, when Miggy was in Florida. And he simply said that there were things on the baseball field that Miguel could do on a nightly basis that really no one else could do. I mean, he just kept it simple.
It's about as succinct as you can get, but it explains it about as well as you can get.
You know, he said there were just things that this man could do on the field that nobody else on the field could do.
Proved it again last year, winning the Triple Crown.
Freddie said he wouldn't be surprised if he won another one.
The 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cabrera hit into a double play to end the first inning. Came in 4th in the American League in batting average, and right now has a 9-game hitting streak. Down the right field line, slicing. Back out of play.
Here's what Freddie had to say about his very talented left fielder, Mr. Upton and Cabrera. If there are any young kids out there watching, back in Atlanta or here in Detroit, if you're a right-handed hitter, those are 2 guys you want to emulate.
Speaking of Upton and Cabrera. I'd love to emulate Miguel Cabrera too, but I'm not as big as him. I'm not as strong as him, nor do I have his hand-eye.
Not many can, but it's fascinating to me that in only 3 weeks that Freddie Gonzalez could put Upton's name in the same sentence.
True.
With Miggy.
2-2. Ooh, that was close. 3-2.
You can trust Hunter to take off here on the 3-2 count. It's very close. That little 69-mile-per-hour breaking ball that Mahalam will throw on occasion. Jim, you trust that Miggy's not going to strike out. Therefore, even if Hunter doesn't get a good jump, you're not worried about that. You trust that Miggy's going to put the ball in play somewhere.
Hunter with an RBI single here in the third. A leadoff double by Infante, providing the Tigers with a chance. They lead 1-0. And Mahalam, 37 pitches. Runner goes on 3-2. It's ball 4. That'll be the second walk for Mahalam. His other one was against this guy, Prince Fielder. Fielder now has 17 walks already this season, a league high in the AL.
Once Victor Martinez starts to swing the bat a little bit better, and Victor has shown some signs of starting to get out of that mini funk that he was in at the beginning of the year. He doubled his first time up, but once he starts to heat up, opposing pitchers will not walk Prince as much as they have in the first 3 weeks of the season.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fielder, to his credit, not extending the strike zone and taking his walks. There's a strike, 1 and 2. And he has not been frustrated at all by that, but he has put up good numbers. In fact, 21 RBIs, third in the American League. Mahalam was able to get through a jam in the second, but he gave up a run here in the third, and maybe more.
Prince comes into play with a .435 batting average against left-handers. But you mentioned this guy gives him problems.
Way outside, 2 and 2.
You can see that Prince is kind of choked up on the bat a little bit. His bat is already a very short bat. But for him to choke up kind of lets us know that he has had some issues with Mahalam. He wants to stay short. He wants to be quick. He wants to try to make sure he gets a strike.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 2 outs in the inning.
Prince got a pretty good breaking ball to hit right here. It's a slow breaking ball, about 73, but he gets a lot of plate. And just out in front of him.
So now Victor Martinez will try and deliver a 2-out hit. He had a double back in the second. Tigers have out hit the Braves so far, 4-2. And it's ball 1 to Martinez. Mahalam spent 7 years with the Pittsburgh Pirates over in the National League before he left as a free agent for Chicago, and then the Cubs dealt him last July. Up with the right hand goes Mike Mulinski, the home plate umpire. 1-1. Mahalam, 30 years old, out of Greenwood, Mississippi. Missing outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Won some games mostly with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but is sub 500 in his career, 69 and 85. I think that's largely a product of the Pirates teams. Didn't win a whole lot in his time there. Ball outside, 3-1.
The Pirates haven't finished 500 or better in quite some time.
And the Tigers have the Pirates again in interleague play this year.
As a matter of fact, I don't think they've had a 500 record or better since Jim Leland was their manager.
You are correct. That was the last time.
That a long time ago.
Yes, it was. one of those stretches you like to try and avoid. There's a drive to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Hunter to third base. They're going to send him home. Here comes the throw to the plate. It hits the mound, not in time, and that's an RBI.
Remember that conversation we had about a week ago? We were talking about center fielders that have strong arms, and even though they do have strong arms, it's tough to throw guys out of home plate. It's that mound. That mound gets in the way. Another outstanding at bat by Victor. That's two really good at bats, and Torrey Hunter's not even on third base when this ball gets in the hands of B.J. Upton, but very aggressive coaching by Tom Brookers, and as soon as that ball hit the mound, it jumps straight up in the air.
A perfect example of what you were talking about, and that's even with Upton, who knows he has a terrific throwing arm. He had 10 assists last year.
And if he gets it on the other side of the mound, on the home plate side of the mound, then it takes that little skip, and then it gets to Gaddis, the catcher, and we may have had a closer play there at home plate. But that's what center fielders have to deal with. You have to get it over that mound.
Tigers have a 2-0 lead. Victor Martinez gets his 7th RBI. And here's Johnny Peralta. That's going to get away and score it all the way to the Tigers dugout area. Move the runners up. That didn't look good. One and 0 on Peralta. Johnny reaching on a fielder's choice back in the second. He's safely in all 14 that he's played in. Wild pitch ruled on that last play. Ball high. 3-0.
Looks like he's pitching around Peralta to get to Tuiasosopo. He's got that base open.
No. 3-1. The lengthiest inning so far for Mahalam. 25 already thrown in this frame. Well, if he is pitching around him, it would make sense. He came in 4 for 9 against him. Swing and a miss. 3-2.
Trying to walk him. To him a changeup 3-1 that was out of the strike zone. Johnny wouldn't let it go by.
Two runs on 5 hits for Detroit. No runs, 2 hits for Atlanta. Grounded foul. Been a jump in numbers this year for Johnny through April the 25th. His average is up to 299 compared to 233 at this point. Doubled his RBI output as well. Chance to drive in a couple more here. And he rolls it foul again. First of 3 this weekend between these two clubs. Interleague play returns. Porcello and Medlin tomorrow, and Pfister and Mike Minor in the finale on Sunday, which should be a good one. And again, Peralta spoils one back to the screen. The next pitch that Johnny sees will be the 9th in this at bat. And he finally walked him. So Peralta will take his base. 3rd walk of the game, and so now he's going to face Tuiasosopo with the bases loaded. He struck out Tuiasosopo back in the 2nd. get back out of play 0-1. There are only 2 clubs in the big leagues that have a staff ERA of under 3. Texas in the American League and Atlanta in the National League. This Braves staff came in with a 2.52 earned run average, which has Roger McDowell smiling these days. Ball inside, 1-1. Tigers get a pair of runs here in the third. RBI singles by Hunter and Martinez. Wave and a miss. Tigers have a great chance here to break this one open early. They've got the bases loaded. Cabrera, Martinez, and down at first Peralta. Off the corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mahalam is the all-time wins leader at PNC Park in Pittsburgh for his years there. 36 career victories. Trying to wiggle out of another jam here in the third. And the 2-2. Ground ball left side. Base hit. Tuiasosopo drives in 2 more runs. It gets by the catcher Gaddis. The runners will move up, throw to third, not in time, and the Tigers lead 4-0. He didn't want anything to do with Johnny Peralta, and Tuiasosopo made him pay.
Tuiasosopo finally got a changeup that he could get to, hit it between the shortstop and the third baseman. Upton has a good arm in left field. He came up firing, but not before. And Victor Martinez was able to slide in safely. Victor had an outstanding secondary lead out at second base, and that's what Jim always talks about. You don't have to be a fast team to be a good base running team. You have to do the little things, and Victor had a good jump off second there, which got 2 RBIs for Tuiasosopo.
Single, 2 runs driven in, E7. Allows the runners to move up. Brian Pena did not go. Tuiasosopo comes through with his second and third RBIs of the season. Tigers bat around here in the third. They score 4 times. The 1-0. 1-1 on Pena. Brian bounced out 4-3 his first time up. This has been a lengthy inning for Mahalam. In the air toward left field, shallow, and caught on the run by Justin Upton. 9 men to the plate. Big inning for the Tigers. They score 4. They lead 2. And we go to the 4th. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try the mighty taste of Arby's new Mighty Minis today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Nice night for baseball here in the Motor City. A couple of key knocks in that inning for Detroit. Maybe the biggest, Matt Tuiasosopo, 2-run single. And the Tigers now lead 4-0 as Sanibel Sanchez goes back to the hill. And he throws a strike to Freddie Freeman. 7 strikeouts already for Sanchez. Mahalam, by the way, threw 38 pitches in that third. Johnny Peralta had that 9-pitch at bat. Here's the 1-1. Wave and a miss. A lot of swings and misses tonight. Mahalam could not get through that third. Well, he's going to have to hope his offense can get back into this game. 2-2. Freeman, then Johnson, then Gaddis in the Atlanta fourth. The Braves have not been without their chances. They've had a couple of doubles in this game. Ball high, 3-2. And he got him, strike 3. Freeman was headed to first base. And he's going to jawbone about this call. That's going to be 8 strikeouts for Sanchez.
Sanchez has got that swing back fastball, even though it's about 93 miles an hour. And then Freeman gave up on it. We'll take a peek at it and see if it was a strike or not.
The Freddies are not happy with that call, Freeman or Gonzalez.
But what does Mr. Fox Tracks have to say about that one, I wonder?
It's the only opinion that counts.
You know.
There's a foul back out of play. Chris Johnson, the batter.
That looked like a strike to me.
If not, it was borderline. It was close enough to swing, I suppose. He tried to coax a walk. Freeman has fanned twice. Johnson had a double back in the second, but did not score. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hannibal's career high in strikeouts is 14. He already has 8. And we're only in the 4th inning. Drilled to center field. Jackson will not get it. It'll drop in a base hit.
That's the second base hit that Johnson has gotten today on breaking balls. That must be the scouting report on him to throw him breaking balls. But the 2 breaking balls he's gotten base hits on have not been good ones. They've been right down the heart of the plate, hanging right around the belt buckle, and he's drilled both of them.
Thought Jackson might have a chance, but he had to short hop it. So that's 2 more hits for the league's best hitter, Chris Johnson, who came in at .397. Evan Gaddis filling in these days for McCann, who has a shoulder problem. He's coming back from shoulder surgery and rehabbing right now. And meantime, Gaddis has filled in nicely. 6 home runs. Numbers by inning for Sanchez. 60 pitches now. One out single by Johnson. No balls, 2 strikes. That's the other thing about Gaddis. When you look at what he's been able to do defensively, the ERA when Gaddis catches 1.57 for the Brave staff.
He was drafted in the 23rd round as well, so he's had to hit his way to the big leagues. They haven't given him anything.
Well, he proved what he could do in the minors. A career .308 hitter in the minor leagues. Foul that one straight back. No balls, 2 strikes on Evan Gaddis.
You also have to give Gaddis a lot of credit for going down to Venezuela, where a lot of players, American-born players, don't want to go to Venezuela these days. He went down there, hit over 300, had 16 homers, and drove in better than 40 runs in winter ball this offseason.
Another foul back out of play.
And we always talk about the guys that go to winter ball and they have good winners. It carries over to spring training. And that's the reason why Gaddis made the major league team.
Those numbers you quoted for winter ball, well, those are awfully good.
No doubt. Some good players in Venezuela in the winter league.
Ground ball to third. Cabrera ranging to his right. Will get the force one. Relay. Oh, they got a double play.
Nicely done.
Wow. Didn't think they had a chance. Cabrera starts a 5-4-3 around the horn. There's your 5. There's your 4. There's your 3.
By the Tigers to end the inning. First of all, Miguel's on his heels. And then he's throwing underhanded and he hits Infante right in the chest. What a feed by Cabrera, throwing off balance, and with Gaddis running, Infante able to turn it over. That's a nice play.
Oh, it isn't. It's a great play by Cabrera. And a good turn as well. And the Tigers now will bat in the bottom of the fourth. They lead 4-0 here in the first of 3 this weekend against the Braves. It's Infante to lead it off, and he started the party with a double back in third. That 4-run third. One ball, one strike. Mahalam faced 9 batters in the third. Infante had a double. RBI hits for Hunter, Martinez. Tuiasosopo knocked in 2. And Omar is out this time. Although Freeman at first had to do a little ballet down there.
That's a bad throw. Got lucky, got bailed out there by Freeman.
One gone. Here's Sauce to Jackson. Ball outside, 1-0. Tigers 4 runs, 6 hits, and Atlanta no runs, 3 hits. Jackson lines one foul. Back in the seats. Beyond the Atlanta dugout, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mahalam now is at 70, and the third inning took 38 pitches. Nearly 40 to get through that frame. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 on Jackson. AJ is 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. On the ground to the second baseman, under the glove of Dan Uggla into center field. One out base runner. Looked like a makeable play.
It did look like one. It looked like Uggla thought he was going to get there. All of a sudden the ball hit the mound, then it hit the dirt and skidded right past him.
Base hit. Speaking of base hit, Torrey has 2 of them, a couple of singles and an RBI. He's knocked in 11 this season. Ball 1. "13 multiple hit games. That's the highest amount in the American League. He'll shoot one to center and base hit. Solid single and a 3-for-3 night for Torrey Hunter.
Fascinating how I talked to Torrey before the game, and he told me exactly what he planned to do to Mahalam, and he's been able to do that in his first 3 plate appearances. Get a ball up in the strike zone because he doesn't get many up, and when you get it, don't miss it. A 3-hit game for Torrey Hunter.
And this is what the Tigers envision here, getting guys on base for the middle of the lineup. And again, Cabrera will come up there, this time with 2 base runners on. Miguel will walk into double play ball. Fouled back out of play, 0-1. Miguel came in 4th in the American League in hitting. Back-to-back batting titles. He won it in 2011 and 2012. Ball high. Some activity now. Anthony Varvaro warming up. Mahalam really hasn't had a whole lot of success in American League ballparks. 0-7, and there's a base hit to right center. That'll get 1 run in. Jackson coming around to score. Hunter will go to third, and Cabrera gets it done again with an RBI hit.
That's the second time today he has thrown Cabrera that really slow breaking ball. That time it appeared that Miggy was looking for it. Look at the concentration and able to drive this ball the opposite way, which he does with regularity, and drives in the 5th run of the evening for the Tigers.
Jackson scores another run, his 22nd of the season, which leads the American League. And Miggy now with 21 RBIs. Fielder looks at ball 1.
Here's where Prince's antennas go up with runners in scoring position. Runner on third, less than 2 outs.
1-1. Prince a strikeout in the 3rd, a walk in the 2nd. Two and 1 the count. Mahalam giving up 4 in the 3rd, and now 1 more here in the 4th inning. Martinez on deck. Strike call. 2-2 on Prince. Tigers doing a much better job tonight of taking advantage of their scoring chances. There's a ground ball hit to the right side. Uggla bobbles it. His throw to first is in time, and he'll get another run in. But it cost him a double play.
Uggla known much more for his bat than his glove. Just doesn't look this one into the glove. Then he comes up to try to get the force at second base. Doesn't get that, but alertly able to get the out at first.
Torrey Hunter scores on the play. 6-0 Tigers. And now Victor Martinez.
Down.
22nd RBI for Prince Fielder.
Tigers have done a really nice job today against Mahalam, forcing him into getting the ball up and hitting the ball right back through the center of the diamond. Tuiasa Sopo and Infante pulled their hits today, but everybody else has gone right back through the gut. And that's really what you want to do against guys that aren't overpowering. Guys whose fastballs don't get up to 89, 90 miles an hour. You have to stay with them and try to drive them the other way. If they make a mistake inside, you will turn automatically on an 86-mile-per-hour fastball.
Well, the Tigers now have 9 hits in this game. They've had at least one in every inning so far. Two and one on Victor Martinez. And with scoring 4 or more runs, Atlanta and the Tigers have the best winning percentages. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Which speaks to the offense, but it also speaks to the starting pitching as well. 2-2. Now 86 for Mahalam. Just off the plate. 3-2. Peralta would be next if Martinez were to reach. Tigers got a hit in the first, but a double play erased that inning. Second and third, nobody out of the second couldn't score. But they have really made good use of their base runners the last 2 innings. And they have made Mahalam work. A 4-run third, a 2-run fourth. Drilled down the left field line. That ball is going to get down and go to the wall. Yet another run in as Cabrera scores, and Victor Martinez has his 3rd hit tonight. Second 2-base hit of this ball game. Give him his 2nd RBI as well.
Victor has been very good since taking some extra batting practice the last couple of days. He's getting real good balance through the swing. Take a look at the balance here when he makes contact. Here's the key. You can draw a line right down the center of his body from the bill of his cap to his shoe tops. And that really tells hitters that they're in proper line when making contact. And he did that a couple of days ago from the left side as well.
And Freddie Gonzalez has seen enough. The Tigers have put up 7 runs on 10 hits. Mahalam is knocked out of this game. Braves will go to the bullpen and a wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back. Lead. Mahalam is out of the game. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Victor Martinez knocking in another run. It's 7-0. Peralta the batter, and he takes a ball low from the new pitcher. As the Braves go to the bullpen, Anthony Varvaro.
7th game now that Varvaro has been in. He's won 1 game, hasn't lost, and unblemished as far as the earned run average is concerned. And the opponents are hitting 152 against him.
Way high. 2-0.
If you want to get into this Braves bullpen, you want to get into the middle relief. You want to stay away from the back end of their bullpen. It is one of the best in the game of baseball, and has been for the last couple of years.
You don't want to face Kimbrel?
No.
I'm with you. 3-0.
Although they say his velocity is down a little bit this year. They said last year every pitch he uncorked was 98, 99, 100 miles an hour with his fastball, but he's been right around 93, 94 this year with his velocity.
3-0 pitch. That's a 4-pitch walk for Varvaro, and that is the second walk of the game for Peralta.
While we have a moment, I'd like to send out some get well wishes to the great Willie Horton. Willie Horton had some surgery last week, extensive surgery. But I talked to Willie yesterday. He's at home. He's resting comfortably. And it seems only fitting to give him a shout out here today, partner, on a Negro League weekend, as much as he means to the city of Detroit.
It's a shame that he can't be here for the festivities this weekend. Hopefully number 23 will be back in the ballpark soon.
Get well, Willie. We miss you.
Here's Tuiasa Sopo. Bender that drops in after he missed on 4 straight pitches. Well, Matt had a big hit, a 2-run single against Mahalam back in the 3rd. 3 RBIs on the season now for Tuiasa Sopo. Ball high, 1-1.
They wore Mahalam out here today. He came in, I mean, pitching some really good baseball.
Not his day. The Tigers get it for 7 runs on 10 hits. Foul back out of play.
Majority of the runs the Tigers scored here today were after 2 were out.
One ball, 2 strikes. And Mahalam came in with an ERA a shade over 1.
Oh, it's going to go up a little bit.
Yeah, more than a shade, too. 1-2. Tigers have 2 men on. Martinez at second base. He's just delivered an RBI double, and Johnny Peralta has just walked. He's at first. All 7 runs for the Tigers in the last 2 innings. And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And this is pretty good. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Tonight they're 3 for 5. Brian Pena waiting on deck. Swung on it, belted deep into left field, way back. See you later, gone. Oh, Tuiasa Sopo got all of that one. It's a 3-run shot. And what a night he has had.
It's the second time they've walked Johnny Peralta in this game, and it's the second time that Tuiasa Sopo has made them pay. 92-mile-per-hour fastball at the bottom of the zone, and a loud sound off the bat of Tuiasa Sopo. That's how Tuiasa Sopo made the 25-man roster this spring. He was hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
First home run as a Tiger and a big smile on his face. It's 10-0. And this one escalated quite quickly. 10 runs on 11 hits. And for the second straight inning, the Tigers send 9 men to the plate. Pena fouls it back 1-1. There are some that as soon as they're hit, just about the sound of the bat, you'd know it, and that was one of those.
Like that one Gordon hit a couple days ago, too. No, it was yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
My ears are still ringing.
1-1. And there's a base hit to left.
Their approach today is tremendous. Great approach today. What's the deal, though, with all of this offensive production at home, but they really don't do that well on the road? I hope that trend doesn't continue.
It can't. They're too good. Listen to the homer. That echo off the bat of Matt Tuiasosopo. Strike call.
Tuiasosopo going to earn himself a start tomorrow regardless of who's pitching.
Well, he's got 5 RBIs. Fouled straight back. Seven runs, or I should say 6 runs in this inning. 3 on 1 swing of the bat by Tuiasosopo. Nubbed foul.
7 of the 10 runs the Tigers have scored here today have come after 2 are out.
And for Freddie Gonzalez, one of those nights. For Tuiasosopo, a 5 RBI night, career high. Pulled to third, nice pick there by Johnson. They'll get the force at second. And the inning is over. However, the big blow in this inning, 3-run shot, Matt Tuiasosopo. Division titles from 1995 to 2005. They had 11 straight division titles in that stretch. Which team broke it? Well, the Tigers busting this one wide open with a 6-run fourth. 10-0. Tuiasosopo's home run off Favreau, which by the way was the first home run allowed by the Atlanta Pen this year. Breaks it open. B.J. Upton will lead it off. It'll be Upton, Francisco, and Johnson. Ball 1 inside.
Sanchez had to sit there for over 20 minutes while his team put up a 6th spot in the bottom half of the 4th inning. against Atlanta. Let's hope it has no effect on the outstanding command he's had so far here today.
It's always one of those good thing, bad things. You don't mind sitting down if they get you some offense, but
you take those ducats down.
That is true. Popped up. First base side, Prince on the charge. You going to get there? Nope. Back into the dugout. Again, one of those plays where three converge, and one of the three is Prince Fielder with a full head of steam.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with him.
No, making the other two just a tad nervous.
A little courtesy jog over there by Sanchez and Pena.
One ball, two strikes on B.J. Upton.
For the most part, B.J. has either led off for this Atlanta club. He's batted fifth on a few occasions. They'd like to see him at the top of the batting order, but they need some more efficiency with the batting order and the on-base percentage. But they pretty much knew what they were getting in B.J. They know they were getting a guy that strikes out frequently, but also a guy that has a lot of talent.
Well, he had an extensive track record, 10 years in Tampa.
He told me he is so happy to get off that artificial surface.
I can imagine.
He said his body feels tremendous these days.
Swing and a miss.
Is this a ninth strikeout today? That change piece today has been outstanding with that late fading action to the right-handed batters today. He's gotten quite a few strikeouts today with that changeup. The velocity in that changeup right around 79. That low reading that you're seeing there, sponsored by Xfinity.
Yeah, you're right. 9 strikeouts. Again, his career high is 14. He will challenge that tonight, it appears. Look out. There goes the bat. It's up.
That's a nice launch there.
Yeah, it is. They usually don't go down to the tarp.
Impressive. Look at the hang time on this.
Oh, and 1 on Juan Francisco. He struck out back in the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Strike called.
Sanchez is dealing. Four-seam fastball at 95. Sinker at 90, 91. Good curve, good change. Nice little backdoor cutter.
He's given up just 3 hits so far in this game tonight. We know that Anibal has thrown a no-hitter. He has also tossed 3 one-hitters in his major league career. So he can get on some rolls. Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
I see you, Anibal.
That is 10 punch-outs in this game.
We see you.
We're only in the 5th inning.
We told you at the top of the show that Sanchez's numbers against the Atlanta Braves in his career weren't very good coming in, but boy, has he made some adjustments here today.
Reed Johnson. Prince on charge. Won't get there. Kind of makes you wonder how in the past he did struggle against the Braves.
He's figured out some stuff, that much is for sure, and it appears it's a changeup because he's gone to that pitch quite often today, and most right-handers are a little reluctant in throwing a changeup to the right-handed batter because usually you make mistakes with that pitch, but it's been a huge success today for Sanchez with that changeup to the right-handed batters.
Thrown 75 in this game, a good ratio.
With all those strikeouts, that's not bad shape for your pitch count.
Strike call.
I mean, everything is just on the corners, inside, outside.
Rolled foul. Sanchez has at least one strikeout in each inning. 7 of the 9 Atlanta Braves in the lineup tonight have struck out at least once. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball left side. Cabrera cuts it off. Out at first base is Johnson. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Anibal Sanchez. He is on a roll tonight. At the Braves record 11 straight division titles from 95 to 2005, and the answer is, if you guess the New York Mets, you are correct. They were 97-65 back in the 2006 season. That's the year that the Mets lost to the Cardinals in the NLCS. Then the Cards went on to beat the Tigers in the World Series. Tigers have a 10-0 lead in this one. And it's Austin Jackson leading it off. AJ 1 for 3. Single run scored. Ground ball to short. 2 steps to his right. Simmons. Well, since 1969, here are the most consecutive division titles. Braves had 11 of them. Yankees 9. Oakland on that list, and of course the Indians in the mid-90s controlled the Central. Here's Torrey Hunter, 3 hits tonight and 2 runs scored.
This is where you get greedy. If you're Torrey Hunter, you're saying the baseball very well. You already have 3 hits in the bank. You may as well try to get that 4th knock.
And Barbaro misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Torrey saw 2 pitches in the first at bat, 1 in the second at bat. On a soft line to the shortstop Simmons for out number 2. Two outs. Hey, the Tigers' 19th annual Negro Leagues tribute game is tomorrow at 1:05. Tigers battling the Braves. First 10,000 fans receive a Prince Fielder Detroit Stars Fathead. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Here's Miguel Cabrera. Ball high.
It will be the Detroit Stars, of course, against the Atlanta Blackcrackers.
The Blackcrackers.
Blackcrackers.
I love the Stars uniforms. Those are cool. You'll see the Atlanta uniforms tomorrow. Driven high in the air to center field. That ball's hit a ton. Upton going back, looks up off the wall.
Oh, Mickey.
And Cabrera's just going to saunter into second with a 2-out double. His second hit.
I mean, really, how do you take a ball where this one is located at the bottom of the zone, inside, and hit it that far the opposite way, 415 feet from home plate?
Miggy's also probably thinking, how do you hit a ball that far and not have it go out? That's the 13th hit now for Detroit. Here's Prince Fielder. Farvero misses low. Prince had an RBI with a ground out back in the fourth on a ball that probably should have been a double play that Uggla bobbled. And it was shortly thereafter that Mahalan was knocked out of the game. The very next hitter, Victor Martinez, doubled in a run, and that's when Farvero came in. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Prince. Three 3-0. Of the 13 Tigers hits today, 5 of them have been for extra bases. Down the middle it comes.
I talk about the fact that Prince Fielder does not like to swing 3-0. Doesn't do it at all. But in this particular situation, up by 10 in the 5th inning in the 3-0 count, it's not really a smart thing to do. Not a wise thing to swing in 3-0 when you're up by 10.
3-1. Strike called. Now it's 3-2. There are certain things that if done on the field, I suppose the other team will remember for the future. And swinging 3-0 up by 10 is one of them. 3-2. Line foul. Only 3 hits allowed by Anibal Sanchez tonight, and in addition, he has struck out 10 through 5 innings.
Bavaro's got a nice arm, and just like the rest of those bullpen pieces that Freddie Gonzalez has on his pitching roster. That last fastball, 95 miles an hour.
3-2 pitch. Again, foul down the left field line. 95 again. Well, the numbers continue to jump with runners in scoring position tonight with 2 outs. They're 4 for 6. Ball high, lost him. It's going to be another walk for Prince, his second of the night. The league leader in walks has picked up 2 more.
It's been a long trip for the Atlanta Braves. They started in Pittsburgh, and then they went to Colorado where they were snowed out one game, and they played a doubleheader the next day, and the temperature did not get above 30 degrees. Yikes. In Colorado, but they swept that doubleheader from the Rockies, and the Rockies are playing good baseball this year.
16 of 18 away from home for the Braves. They certainly had been on the road a lot. Here's Victor Martinez. Trouble now for Farvero with 2 men on, 2 men out. Ball 1.
Victor had some great plate appearances today against the left-hander Mahalan.
Well, he's had 2 doubles, a single, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. And he's out there again with a couple of runners aboard. Bouncing ball right side. Uggla will handle this one on the grass. Had That'll end the inning. Tigers threaten, but they leave a couple. 5 in the books here at Comerica. 10-0. That's fan poll question of the game. Here it is. Of these 4, which team is most likely to represent the National League in the World Series this year? A, the Braves, B, the Nationals, C, the Cardinals, or D, the Giants? Enter your vote by texting ACE, then a space, and then the letter answer to 37338.
Good choices tonight.
What is your selection? Okay, I'll go first.
Who you got?
Well, I know the Braves have gotten off to a really good start, but I
Right.
still think the Nationals have the best team in the National League.
So Giants didn't do anything to help themselves, in your opinion?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I know, you're making me think now. Nobody picked them last year. Boy, that pitching really has carried them. Zito's pitching well again at him.
I think it's between the two, Washington and Atlanta.
But you got to pick one. So which one is it?
I'm gonna go Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah, 15-6.
Yeah. But it's not even May yet. They got a 4.5 game lead over the Nats. There's a strike called on Simmons. Andrelton Simmons is 1 for 2, double. And the 1-2 pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did. Boy, oh boy. Sanchez now has 11 strikeouts. Getting closer and closer to his career high of 14.
The Tigers this year have had some guys rack up a lot of strikeouts. Verlander had a start where he had 12 strikeouts. Max also had a 12 strikeout game. Max had an 11 strikeout game. This staff, if not the best staff in the American League, it's right up here in the top 2 or 3. Starting rotation.
Definitely. Ugla fouls it back. 0-2. Tigers have the lead courtesy of a 4-run third, a 6-run fourth, which knocked out Paul Maholm early in this game. Way outside. Anibal had a 1-2-3 fifth, was helped out by a double play in the 4th. He has given up a couple doubles, no damage though. Swing and a miss.
Oh my goodness.
Pena will have to throw down to complete this one.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch. Sanchez is on one today, and he's gone up against a very hot hitter in Upton. He kept everything at the bottom of the zone, threw some fastballs right by him, came back to finish him off with an outstanding fading changeup. The same pitch he's finished off a lot of right-handed batters. And then the second time up, just 2 pitches, a ground out to Omar Infante. So he has kept Upton in check today.
So with 2 outs, here is Mr. Upton.
He's kept everybody in check.
That is true. 12 strikeouts. He has fanned 4 of the last 5 Atlanta batters. And the Tigers have out-hit the Braves tonight 13-3. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to third. Cabrera gobbles this one up. And Upton is out of there. Another 1-2-3 inning for Anibal Sanchez. He's man of the hour tonight. It certainly has been, John. 10-0 in favor of Detroit, and they have 13 hits compared to just 3 for the Braves. Why? Because Anibal Sanchez has been on his game tonight.
All of his pitches working today. A fastball up to 95 with great control, and the curveball, the changeup.
Peralta, Tuiasosopo, and Pena facing Varvaro. Right back up the middle. How about another hit?
That's exactly where the majority of the Tigers' hits have gone this evening. Right back up the middle. Even if you throw hard like Varvaro does, if you get a fastball up around the belt buckle and it's right down the middle, these Tigers hitters are going to clobber it all night long.
So here is Tuiasosopo, who's had the biggest bat of the night. He's had 5 RBIs this evening, 3-run homer in his last at bat. Leadoff man on here in the 6th. Strike called, 0-1. Tuiasosopo had a huge hit back in the 3rd when they pitched around Johnny Peralta, and they came through with a 2-run single. Here's the 0-1. Ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. I want to clarify something on our trivia question tonight. We said the Braves had won 11 consecutive division titles over in the National League, and that is because of the strike shortened 94 season. It was actually 14 straight, but 11 if you don't count the strike shortened season of 94. There's a bouncing ball to short. This looks like a double play. 6-4. Oh, he dropped it.
Braves are playing a sloppy game here tonight. Very sloppy game,
to say the least. That's the 2nd double play ball that they have mishandled in this game.
Looks like Simmons gets it to Uggla in plenty of time. He turns it over, and Freeman just drops it. Yeah, it's not a great throw, but he still should have caught this ball.
One-on-one out here is Brian Pena. He sends a high pop-up into shallow right field. Uggla going back in foul ground, makes a tough catch. Pena retired, 2 gone. That'll bring up Omar Infante. Favreau came on in the 4th inning and still out there here in the 6th. First 2 batters he faced, he walked Peralta, then gave up the 3-run homer to Tuiasa Sopo. Omar 1 for 3 today, has a double. Ball high. 10 runs on 14 Tigers hits. No runs on 3 hits for the Atlanta Braves as we crack open the interleague schedule here for the Tigers. That has popped up. Middle of the infield. Simmons, the shortstop, to the grass. And that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. On the way to 7th, Freeman, Johnson, Gaddis coming up.
Fast delivery of the game, and boy, Anibal Sanchez, if you're just joining us, he has simply been on point tonight. 12 strikeouts. He's gotten strikeouts on every last one of his pitches, whether it be the mid-90s fastball, whether it be the breaking ball, or whether it be that real good fading changeup down into the right-handers. And coming in to play today, a 4-11 record career against the Atlanta Braves. So he simply has gone out there, made some adjustments, and done very well here this evening.
Talk about flipping the script. He has done that tonight. 10-0 lead and a swing and a miss by Freddie Freeman. We've been saying that a lot tonight. Swing and a miss. A total of 12 punch outs. Missed it outside, 2-1.
Braves had the day off yesterday. They spent the entire day here in the Motor City.
Don Kelly has taken over in left. Swing and a miss. 2-2. They got to be ready, just about ready to get back home. Got him, strike 3, and the strikeout train continues. $13 of them now for Anibal Sanchez.
Look at the precision of the fastball in the low 90s. His command today has been tremendous.
Check it out, 13. One shy of his career high.
What do they call it? Baker's dozen?
Baker's dozen is right. Single and a double. I prefer my Baker's dozen to be donuts, though, as opposed to strikeouts. But Sanchez will take a strikeout.
You don't eat donuts.
I used to.
That was a piece of chocolate now.
Chocolate's a different story. We all have our weakness. How about that? There it is, number 14, equaling a career high.
He is racking up PlayStation kind of numbers here tonight. This is video game kind of stuff here.
He has struck out 6 of the last 8 that he's faced. Evan Gattis, come on down. You're next. 1 ball to no strikes. Double play ball and a strikeout tonight for Gattis.
14 strikeouts, and he's still 3 pitches shy of the century mark.
That's incredible. Ball high. Now the count goes 2-0. Last base runner they had was in the 4th inning, a single by Johnson. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Foul back 2-2 on Evan Gattis.
It's a beautiful thing when you're on the mound and you're Sanchez tonight and you've got all your pitches working. But there's not one pitch that he doesn't feel confident in throwing right now. He's gotten a lot of changeup strikeouts today. We'll see if that's what he does here to Gattis. That fading changeup down and in about 83 miles an hour.
The 2-2. Driven toward the gap in left center field. Kelly not going to get this one. It's going to go up against the wall.
He went heater at 94 and Gattis drilled it.
And Gattis has his first hit. 2-out double for the Braves. That is only their 4th hit of this game.
Good swing by Gattis. Not as big a swing as he was taking earlier in the pitch sequence. Looked like the first couple of swings he was trying to hit the ball at the ballpark. He was shorter and quicker that time to the ball and hit it extremely hard in that left center field gap.
Three of the 4 hits doubles for Atlanta. Ball 1. One ball, 1 strike on B.J. Upton. He was strikeout number 9 back in the 5th inning for Sanchez. Just missed. The ball outside. 2-1. Upton signed a 5-year deal, which will keep him in Atlanta through 2017. Former #1 pick of the Rays. Bouncing ball left side, right at Cabrera. Inning over. Nothing comes of the 2-out double. Stretch time here at the ballpark. Stretch time as we go to the bottom of the 7th here at the ballpark. All Tigers tonight in the start of interleague play. 10-0. Here's our Comerica Bank game summary this evening. Let's check it out. Well, there's going to be a lot of Tiger stuff on it, trust me. Anibal Sanchez with 14 strikeouts ties a career high. Victor tonight, that's a good sign, Rod. 3 for 4.
Absolutely, especially because he came off that 2-hit performance a couple of days ago against the Kansas City Royals after he had one session of early batting practice with the hitting coach Lloyd McClendon.
Austin Jackson leads it off as we go to the bottom of the 7th.
Torrey Hunter also has 3 hits. We couldn't even get him on the game summary.
How often do you go 3 for 4 with a couple of runs scored and not make that summary? It has happened tonight to Torrey. Jackson has 1 hit this evening and a run scored. 1 out of 4. There's Mr. Hunter waiting on deck. Favreau back out there. He came on in the 4th, still pitching here in the 7th. And the 2-0.
Hunter was telling me today that he loves playing here in Detroit. Loves the fans, loves the ballpark. Everything about it. Said he's having a great time.
Wait till the weather warms up. It's summertime here in the Motor City. Bounce back up the middle. Simmons to his left. 1 gone. This place will be rocking every night. Torrey will see what it's really all about. 103 for 4. One out, nobody on. There's a ground ball to third. Backing up a step. Johnson has it. Throws high. Tag. Got it. They almost had another error. They've committed 2 tonight. 2 gone.
Freeman's a big boy over at first base. It's kind of hard for Johnson to miss him over there. He jumps up, comes down, and gets Hunter before that left foot gets on the bag.
Here's Cabrera. Miguel on base 3 times in this ball game. Strike 1. Cabrera hit a double the other way off the right center field wall back in the 5th.
It was a pitch that was down and in.
Time called at home plate as Cabrera steps out. Something in his eye, perhaps. He could probably hit with one eye closed. Braves bullpen coming into this game had an ERA of 1.60, which led the major leagues. There's more activity in their bullpen. Corey Guerin warming up. Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball there. At 79 miles an hour. Not a whole lot Miggy can do with this pitch. Just falls off the table.
This will be the 50th pitch for Favreau since coming on. And here it is. Fouled away.
Favreau did something there that very few pitchers do against Miguel. When they get ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes. They don't try to finish him off with that next pitch. They usually throw a couple of balls before they go back after him.
To the count stays on Miguel.
Miguel's upset with himself. He got a breaking ball there and he was looking for it. He just missed it.
Braves earlier this year had a 10-game winning streak as part of their fast start.
Yeah, that was snapped by the team that just left here, Kansas City Royals.
Indeed. The 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tigers typically have performed pretty well in interleague play, especially under Jim Leyland. 81 and 45 since 2006 when Leland took over in interleague play. That is really good. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Ogla has it. And Cabrera is out and to scoop it at first base. 1-2-3 inning. And as we go now to the 8th inning, Anibal Sanchez has had a big night tonight. Tigers baseball this evening presented by Bell Tire.
Fourth inning, and just about everybody that went to the dish got hits. The first 3 guys did anyway, and that would be Jackson, Hunter, and then Miggy. A ground out by the Prince, followed by another base hit by Victor, the big one, by Tuiasa Sopo. 3-run home run. Tigers scored 6 runs in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
There's your story. 14 strikeouts ties a career high for Anibal Sanchez. He'll go back to work facing Juan Francisco here in the 8th. Then Reed Johnson and then Andrelton Simmons. Tigers 10 runs, 14 hits. Braves no runs, 4 hits. Ball low, 1-1 on Francisco, who is punched out twice tonight. One and one on Francisco. Grounded foul. 1-2.
That's a major reason why he's been able to dominate the Atlanta Braves today. 17-26 in first pitch strikes for Sanchez, which has allowed him to expand the strike zone. And he's gotten quite a few of these Braves hitters to leave the strike zone and chase some borderline pitches. This is the best we've seen Sanchez since he's put on a Tigers uniform.
Agreed. Grounded foul.
Even in that game where he nearly threw another no-hitter in Cleveland last September. He was good that day, but he's been sensational tonight.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and a career high 15 strikeouts for Anibal Sanchez. He has gotten Francisco 3 times tonight. What an effort tonight for Sanchez.
Well, we just talked about the first pitch strikes, 17-26. When you get ahead and you're going up against a big power hitter like Francisco, and then you can just simply throw something out of the strike zone, and he will not be able to hold up.
Just an amazing performance. 4 hits, 15 Ks. Here's Reed Johnson.
Well, we're watching why the Tigers wanted to bring him back on a 5-year contract when he hit the free agent market last offseason.
And he's just whittling through a lineup that has been really good in terms of scoring runs, hitting home runs, swing and a miss. 0-2. Darren Downs in the Detroit bullpen. And now Rondon has also gotten up. He's loosening. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Let's just keep adding to the total. 16 punch-outs for Sanchez.
He's going to get a nice standing ovation when he walks off the field. And some of these pitches that the Braves hitters have been swinging at tonight aren't even close to being strikes, which gives you an idea of just really how lethal the stuff that Sanchez is featuring here this evening.
Andrelton Simmons stands in. That's it for a strike, 0-1. One of the more dominating performances turned in by any pitcher in the American League this year. Slice to right center field, and that's going to drop in. Base hit right in front of Torrey Hunter. 2-out single for Simmons, who has his second hit. Now Dan Uggla. Here's the pitch count on Sanchez and his ratio. The 116 is a season high. Previous high was 114 against Toronto. And that was in 7 innings of work. Sanchez trying to complete 8 innings of work tonight. Uggla, 3 strikeouts in this game. Ball high. 2-0. Uggla came in batting just 185. He's hit 4 home runs. And he fouls that one back. 2-1. A couple of years ago, Uggla had that long hitting streak of 33 consecutive games. Former Florida Marlin. 5 years with the Marlins. Swing and a miss.
He played for Freddie Gonzalez when Freddie was the manager of Florida Marlins. Freddie was very happy to get Uggla in Atlanta Braves uniform, but Uggla gets off to very slow starts every year.
Here comes the crowd. 35,000 plus on its feet. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 17 punch-outs tonight for Anibal Sanchez.
This crowd will let him know how much they appreciate him, too.
A franchise record for the Tigers in a 9-inning game. Tip of the cap tonight to Mr. Sanchez. a 10-0 lead as we go to the 8th. The story tonight, Anibal Sanchez, 17 punch-outs, a career high, and a franchise record for the Tigers in a 9-inning game.
And he's doing it against the team that's in first place in the National League and a team that he has had very little success against in his big league career.
What a scene as he walked off the field. He gets the congratulations from his teammates. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Prince Fielder to lead things off. Fielder, Martinez, Peralta. 10 runs on 14 Tigers hits, no runs, 5 hits for the Atlanta Braves. Swing and a miss by Prince, 0-2. We have a wall side windows pitching change as the Braves go back to the bullpen. Corey Guerin is in now.
And Guerin has some pretty good numbers as far as the earned run average is concerned. No blemish there. 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 10 2/3. In the league, hitting 152 against Guerin.
Barbaro gave him as much as he could tonight. He came on in the 4th, pitched through the 7th after Mahalam was knocked out early in this game. Fielder has a couple of walks. He has knocked in a run. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fielder is out. One gone for Victor Martinez. Remind you to see the Tigers battle the Minnesota Twins this Monday through Wednesday. Take advantage of the Super Spring Special. Upper box seats are half price, only $13. Call 866-66-TIGER.
Did somebody say spring?
You're not believing, are you? Are you buying?
I'm waiting on that spring weather to show up.
Well, it got a little bit better today.
It did. It was nice on the field today.
It'll be here before you know it. Ball 1 inside to Martinez. Big night for Victor. 3 out of 4. 2 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 2 runs scored. Strike call. 1-1. Guerin is a 4th-round pick of the Braves. That was back in 2007. Appeared in 22 games last year with the big club. That's a foul ball down the first base line. Johnny Peralta waiting on deck. And aside from the fact that Sanchez was unbelievable tonight, the other good sign, I think, in my opinion, is Victor Martinez's offensive at-bats here tonight. First 3 at-bats resulting in hits, a couple of RBIs. If the Tigers get him going, scary, scary offense. Just off the plate. Run it now to 3-2 on Victor. Tigers had a 4-run 3rd, a 6-run 4th. And the 3-2. Whistled foul. The attendance here tonight with a good crowd, 35,161. And as the summer kicks into high gear, you'll expect those sellout crowds on a nightly basis here. Three-two. Fouled away again. Mahalam started. Barbaro came in the 4th inning, and now Guerin here in the 8th. In the air toward left field. Justin Upton is on the move. Well, that's not Justin Upton. Schaefer has taken over for Upton out and left. Jordan Schaefer. Got another change too, and it looks like Pasternicki is at second base. So some changes that snuck by us, but we've got you updated now. Swing and a miss, and Victor goes down on strikes. Two up, two down. A couple of strikeouts for the Braves right-hander. It's going to bring up Johnny Peralta. Johnny looks at ball one outside. Braves bullpen now has retired 8 consecutive Tigers. But the Tigers got more than enough in the third and fourth innings in this one tonight. Racing out to the 10-0 lead. They put up 14 hits. And you combine that with what Anibal Sanchez has done this evening, and it's a special night at the ballpark. Chatting with his battery mate, Brian Pena. Ball inside. And really, Rod, when you have performances like Sanchez had tonight, sometimes we overlook what the catcher does.
That's something that Pena has been very good at so far this year, and he's still learning this pitching staff.
It's a base hit to left.
But tonight, he and Sanchez were in sync all night long.
That they were. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Tigers baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and a whole lot more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Tigers.com.
I might have to go on MLB.com at bat and check this one out a little later on tonight. 17 strikeout performance.
You want to see it again?
Wouldn't mind.
No, not at all. Fun one to watch tonight. Don Kelly getting his first at bat. Ball outside.
I can either do that or catch our replay at midnight. Day off tomorrow. Might stay up a little later than normal.
Got big plans tomorrow?
Not huge.
Here's the 1-1. Slice back out of play. Jim has taken every opportunity he can to give Kelly some at bats, whether it's coming in late to get an at bat or two or getting a start along the way. He felt that maybe last year he didn't give Kelly enough at bats early in the season. The 1-2. Ooh, look out. To the backstop, and it rolls right back to the catcher. What happened here?
Nice job by Peralta. He saw the ball get past the catcher, took a couple steps, then he read the read and knew he couldn't get to second base. I don't know what that hit, but you don't see that very often here at Comerica Park.
It got back to the catcher quickly. Here's the 2-2. Ooh, way outside again. 3-2. Well, he struck out the first 2 batters he faced here in the 8th, and now he's thrown 22 pitches. And the 3-2. Just off the plate. That's a walk for Don Kelly. 2 on and 2 out. One of those nights for Freddie Gonzalez. Already, I'm sure, thinking about tomorrow's game, jotting down some notes. Here is Brian Pena. 1 for 4 tonight for Pena. He's got Peralta and Kelly aboard.
Match.
Ball 1. Tigers have out hit the opposition tonight 15-5. And 3 outs away from winning their 11th game of the season, going back over 500. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Slice to the shortstop. And Pena's out to end the 8th. No runs, a walk, a hit, 2 men left. Let's go to the 9th. They're dancing in the stands tonight here, Keats. 10-0 is our score. Last call for the Atlanta Braves as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Fans having some fun tonight. Why not? Sanchez was spectacular. The Tigers' offense was spectacular as well. And as we go to the 9th inning, last opportunity now for the Atlanta Braves. Got a new pitcher for the Tigers. That would be Bruce Rondon.
Made his major league debut yesterday afternoon. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 3 hits, gave up 1 earned run. Did not record a strikeout. But it will not be long before he does get his first major league strikeout with that fastball that gets up to 102 miles an hour.
Might even be right here.
Yeah, the way the Braves are swinging today.
Jordan Schaefer will lead things off, his first at bat. Ball 1 way inside. 99 out of the chute for Rondon. Schaefer in 12 games batting .438. Here's the 1-0. Fouled straight back. And the count is 1-2 on Schaefer. Freeman on deck. Then Chris Johnson. Tigers 3 outs away from putting the finishing touches on their 11th win. 8 of the 9 starters had a hit tonight for Detroit. It's popped up. Third base side. Cabrera foul ground. Schaefer is out. 1 gone. Well, this Sunday the Tigers wrap up a 3-game series against these Braves. It's a special 8:05 game. All kids 14 and under receive a Miguel Cabrera Triple Crown hat. Call 866-66-TIGER. More information online as well at tigers.com. Here's Freddie Freeman. 0-1. Freeman, tough night against Sanchez. 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. 17 total strikeouts tonight for Anibal. Now the 0-1. Same result, breaking ball. And it's 0-2. He hit triple digits. Did he go? Yes! On a 101-mile-an-hour fastball.
Now that's a piece of cheese.
It's a couple of pieces.
High cheddar.
Oh my goodness. Rondon. Two gone. Johnson looks at a ball.
Rondon's big boy too. Got that squatty body, those big legs. And make no mistake about it, that's where that fastball comes from. Those powerful legs.
Here's the 1-0. Ground ball to third should do it. Cabrera has it. And the Tigers win tonight. Game 1 in this interleague series, a blowout. Anibal Sanchez was terrific. Bruce Rondon puts the finishing touches on a 10-0 win.
Boy, if they can get Rondon to pitch as effectively as he pitched here in the ninth, the remainder of the way, it is only going to lengthen that Tigers bullpen.
A lot to be excited about tonight. The offense, the starting pitching, and Bruce Rondon. 10-0 Detroit.